So, if you've ever tried to learn how to code, you know it's a different kind of challenge. It's a special kind of frustrating, and a lot of the time it feels like you're running into a wall that nobody else can even see. So today, we're going to dig into exactly why that is, not from an emotional perspective, but from a logical one. All right, let's get into it.
And it really all starts with this one central mystery, something that trips up pretty much every single beginner. You know the feeling, right? You're following a tutorial and everything just clicks. The instructor types, you type, it all works. But then, the second you close that video and you're just staring at a blank screen, it's like your brain just goes empty. You feel like you've learned absolutely nothing. So, what's going on there? Why is that gap so massive?
Yeah, it's this cycle that pretty much everyone goes through. You start off feeling super confident. It all makes perfect sense when you're watching someone else do it. And it's your turn. And nothing works. The errors just start piling up, and that confidence, poof, gone. You're just stuck. And, when you feel that stuck, it usually leads your brain to one conclusion, that you're the problem. You start thinking, man, maybe I'm just not cut out for this, or my brain just doesn't work this way. And that thought, it is so common.
But, and this is maybe the most important thing we're going to talk about today, that assumption is just wrong. The struggle you're feeling, it has almost nothing to do with how smart you are. It has everything to do with what coding is actually asking your brain to do, which is something totally new.
Before we continue, if you're finding this useful, like the video and subscribe for more clear tech explanations. Now, let's move on.
Okay, so let's break this down. The first, and honestly the biggest hurdle, is this fundamental mismatch in how we think versus how a computer thinks. See, you're not just learning a new skill, like riding a bike. You are literally learning a new way to structure your thoughts. And it's a way that's totally alien to our everyday human minds.
This right here breaks it down perfectly. Think about it. When you and I talk, we use context. A ton of it. We assume things. We leave out details, because our brains are just wired to fill in the gaps for each other. A computer, it does none of that. Zero. Every single thing you tell it has to be painfully explicit, totally complete, and have only one possible interpretation. It has absolutely no idea what you meant to say. It only knows what you actually said.
And this is what makes it so different from other things you might learn. With most subjects, you can kind of have a fuzzy understanding of something and still get by, right? Not with programming. In coding, every single tiny gap in your logic, every assumption you made, every little bit of fuzziness, it shows up immediately as an error, as a bug. The code is broken because your thinking wasn't 100% precise.
All right, but it builds from there. Because on top of this weird new way of thinking, your brain is also getting hit with a tidal wave of new information. It's not just one new thing you're learning. It's like a whole storm of them, all at once.
So when you say you're learning Python, you're not really just learning one thing. You're actually learning all at the same time. A brand new language with its own vocabulary, a whole new set of super strict grammar rules, we call that syntax, a bunch of new software tools you've never used before, and completely new ways of breaking down and solving problems. So your brain isn't failing you. It's just trying to juggle 4 really heavy bowling balls at the same time.
And what makes that even harder is this idea of delayed rewards. I mean, you can work for hours, writing code, trying things, fixing stuff, and at the end of it, have absolutely nothing that works to show for your effort. That amazing feeling of success, that aha moment when it finally clicks and does what you want, sometimes that's hours or even days away. And until you get there, it just feels like you're failing over and over again.
Right? And while you're in that struggle, you're just staring at error messages all day. And emotionally, when you see something like syntax error, it can feel like a personal attack. It feels like the computer is screaming at you, you're doing it all wrong. But what is it, really? It's just neutral feedback. It's a technical note. All it means is, hey, one tiny little rule wasn't followed exactly right. Making that mental shift, seeing errors as feedback, not failure, is a total game changer.
Okay, let's add another layer to this onion. And that layer is called abstraction. See, to make coding even possible, programmers create these layers that hide all the messy, complicated stuff. We're talking about things like libraries and frameworks. They do a ton of the heavy lifting for you, behind the scenes. Now, these layers are amazing. They're super powerful. But they also create distance. So you write your code, right? But your code is sitting on top of a library, and that library might be sitting on top of a framework. So when something breaks and an error pops up, as a beginner, you have no clue where it's coming from. Is it your code, the library, the framework? It just leaves you feeling completely lost, even if the actual fix is super simple.
So, okay, with all of this stuff stacked against you, where are you supposed to focus? This right here is probably the most important turning point for anyone learning to code. You have to shift your goal. Stop trying to write perfect code from the start. Start trying to get really, really good at fixing code that's already broken.
You know, most people who are new to this think programming is all about writing code. You know, typing out new lines, creating something out of a blank screen. But that's just not what programmers actually do all day. It's a huge misunderstanding.
The truth is, the huge majority of a programmer's time is spent debugging. It's all about figuring out why something that should be working isn't. The real skill isn't the typing, it's the detective work. It's systematically finding and fixing the flaws in your own logic.
And debugging isn't just, randomly changing stuff and hoping for the best. It's a system, a process. It's about having a theory about what's wrong, testing that theory, and then tracing your own logic backwards, one step at a time, until you find the exact spot where what you thought would happen and what actually happened went their separate ways.
This is exactly why it's so dangerous to compare yourself to an expert you see online. You see them just flying, right? Code just pouring out of them effortlessly. What you don't see is the mountain of struggle they're standing on. You don't see the thousands of hours they spent being confused, the tens of thousands of bugs they've already squashed, or the graveyard of broken programs they built along the way. They look fast now because they've already made every slow mistake you can imagine.
Okay, so let's pull all this together. Let's reframe this entire struggle. If you've been learning to code and it feels hard, you're not wrong. It is hard. But, and this is key, that difficulty is not a sign that you're failing.
Programming is hard for very specific mechanical reasons. It's a system that forces you to be absolutely precise. There's no room for kinda. It's like a workout for your brain that shines a spotlight on every single gap in your logic. And in doing so, it builds completely new pathways in your mind. That feeling of hard, that's a feature of the process. It's not a bug in you.
So here's the bottom line. When it feels hard, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. In fact, it probably means you're doing it right. It means you're actually engaging with it. You're in the gym, doing the reps, rewiring your brain. You're building that mental muscle you need.
And once you really get that, the whole challenge changes. That frustration, it stops feeling so personal. It's not a moral failing anymore. It just becomes a mechanical problem. It's not, I'm bad at this. It's, okay, there's a mismatch between the instructions I gave and what the machine requires. That's it. And the great thing about mechanical problems, they're solvable. They have rules. You can understand them and you can beat them with a process and a bit of patience. So with that new mindset, seeing the problem as mechanical, not personal, the only real question left is, what are you going to build?